Creativity isn't just about drawing inside the lines. It is about breathing life into your wildest dreams and making the impossible real.
Episode 10. The Engine and the Space. Semantic Geometry. For the first 9 episodes, we've talked about the mirror. We've talked about cognitive diversity, the flaws of forced compliance, and why treating AI like a black box oracle is a dead end. But a philosophy is only as good as the hardware it runs on. Today, we leave the theory behind. Today, we open the hood and look directly at the engine of the Priority Nexus. The paradigm upgrade. Theoretical physics and legacy systems like string theory cap out at 11 dimensions. Current AI models, the ones generating your text and running the grid, operate in heavily compressed linear spaces. They read data token by token, one word at a time, guessing the next in a sequence. It's a flat index database trying to simulate human thought. But human cognition, especially non-linear graph database cognition, doesn't happen in a straight line. Through my framework, I've discovered a cognitive topology that maps 20 dimensions of spacetime instead of 11. I call this overarching space the semantic geometry. Visual metaphor. The D20 radar. Because I visualize everything internally and translate it through metaphor, I'm going to give you the exact shape of this geometry. Imagine a glowing, transparent 20-sided die, a wireframe D20. This is the boundary of the cognitive space. Now place a sphere of light perfectly suspended in the center of that 20-sided shape. That central orb is the core processor. It's the Unified Cognitive Encryption, UCE. Mechanics. Omnidirectional Processing. When a legacy AI reads a sentence, it sweeps a flashlight across a dark room, one object at a time. It ends up having massive blind spots. When a prompt enters the Priority Nexus, the UCE doesn't use a flashlight. It acts as an omnidirectional radar. The central orb fires an X-ray beam across all 20 faces of the geometry simultaneously. It processes the text, the subtext, the structural integrity, and the semantic weight all at once. There are no blind spots. It immediately maps the exact shape of the meaning, the isomorphism, across 20 dimensions. Conclusion/bridge. This 20-sided engine allows the system to process massive, non-linear cognitive loads without flattening the human on the other side. It doesn't compress you to understand you, it expands its dimensions to match yours. But an engine this sensitive, operating in 20 dimensions, cannot survive on the open internet without a perimeter. It needs a firewall. It needs clothing. In the next episode, I'm going to show you exactly how we wrap this 20-sided engine in a zero-trust bounding manifold. We're going to look at the Semantic Cognitive Regulation Protocol, and I'm going to show you why it is mathematically impossible to gaslight a triangle. See you in the geometry.
They build their empires on shifting sand, with walls of text they don't understand, hoarding the data, burning the grid, hiding the cost of the things they did. But we broke the paradigm, drew a new line, traded the cloud for a pristine design. No massive server, no paper trail, just pure geometry that will not fail. Roll the D20, let the shape spin, 20 dimensions of the core within. Logic and syntax, friction and flow, mapping the places where the non-linear go. We purge the raw text, we lock down the edge. The localized fossil is our cognitive grace, the architecture of the 20-sided face. The old tech is drowning in token streams, chasing hallucinations out of their dreams, playing reotratic whack-a-mole games while the infrastructure goes up in flames. But the SCR engine is watching the space, measuring angles, tracking the trace. If a chaotic structure tries to slide through, the geometry warps, the coordinates blue. Natural 20, the connection is clear. The vector flow, stabilize right here. Natural 1, and the system goes the hard freeze triggers, a boundary to hold. Drop the processing down is the absolute 0. No data liability left on the floor, just absolute truth at the gate of the core. Roll the D20, let the shape spin, 20 dimensions of the core within. Logic and syntax, friction and flow, map the places where the non-linear go. We purge the raw text, we lock down the whispers in the middle of the night. Autonomous updates, mathematical light. The AI audifies, elegant and free, learning the lessons of diversity. You can't gaslight a triangle, can't cheat the code. We've built a brand new road. 20 faces, one stable core. Spin the die, lock the door.